welcome to McCall College. Tonight we're having a demonstration on pet portraits, and I have a photo of a dog named Pumpkin that we're going to be doing on an 18 by 18 canvas. So we have a small audience here tonight. I'm very excited that we have people watching this time, and so I'm not talking to myself, which is what I do a lot at home in the studio. Okay, so one of the things I've done is I've got a yellow. I painted this with acrylic. Okay, I painted with acrylic. It's the difference between oil and acrylic is a big deal. Acrylic dried within about 10 minutes. And so we paint that underneath, and then on top of that, then I'm going to do this kind of cool thing with a purple paint. So lavender, I'm going to go fast this time, and oops, a little bit more. So the way you make purple is with blue and red. So I've got a kind of a magenta scarlet color with a little bit of a blue, and that's really dark, and so I'm going to make it with a little bit of white. Oops, a little bit more, a little more. That's almost blue. Now this is a warm color, so I'm going to just put this really kind of a light color or dark color over the top of the light color really fast. And the reason I do that is I put this wash on, and then I make it to where it's just kind of a, now normally I will do this on a flat surface. Oh, I've got a brush stuck to my sweater. That's special. Okay, that's even fun. So you can kind of see the yellow through it like that. And then I'm just going to take it to the corners really fast. I pretend like I'm on high speed. Since we're doing a white dog, I didn't want to start with a white canvas. That'd be kind of dumb, because you just put a white piece of paint on and you wouldn't be able to see it, right? So we'll go, this is kind of almost a gray color. I'll add a little more of that. Purple is the opposite to yellow. Violet is the opposite to yellow on the color. It's called complementary colors. So the opposite to blue is orange. The opposite to red is green. The opposite to yellow is violet. Why? Well, there's three primary colors. If you mix two of them together, blue and red, the only thing left is yellow, and that's the complement. Red and, it's hard to do this and talk at the same time. Red and yellow is orange, and the thing left is blue. So that's going to take a chart to explain that one, I think. What? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to just smooth this all in, and it makes it kind of a dark. Now, when I'm doing performance art, sometimes I will do this method where I paint the canvas as bright a yellow as I can. I put a drippy dark color over the top of it. Use a rag to wipe out the image. I don't know, some of you may have seen me do that. Okay, so now, dogs are kind of fun. This guy, he's got kind of a muzzle, which is almost like a circle around their little face. A little kind of a sphere that sticks out. I know you guys have got a Pekingese and a, what have you? Shih Tzu. How do you spell that? I don't know. I can't remember. I think there's a few ways to spell that. Let's not spell that right now. Okay. Now, I'm going to now take this little paper towel, and I have to decide how big. I love to fill the whole face all the way across the canvas. That'd be kind of cool. But I'm not exactly sure how big. So I'm going to think about, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the picture, and if I've got a square canvas, I'm going to fold it like, I'll take the picture like this, and I'll fold it, or I'll cut it to a square, and then I will fold it down the middle like this, and it's kind of like a fast way of doing graph paper where, you know, have you ever done that in high school where you break down the picture into tiny squares and then everybody gets a square and you kind of do that. Well, and now I have I have a center point. Here's a little center point right here. And so I know that the dog's nose is going to be over on this side of the center point. I do have that. Okay, so then, I know the mouth is below that center line, so I might make a couple little marks like that to tell me where it all goes. Okay, so I know what's in this quadrant is this little hair, and then the top part of the hair will come up like this. So it goes really fast that way. That's just one way of doing it. You could break it down. You could keep folding your paper numerous times and then just, you know, mark it off a little bit. The better you get, the more practice you get at it, the more you can do it really with less folds on it. So I'm going to go like this. And then I've got the bottom part is here. So his nose is going to be somewhere around right about there. And there is the side of his face. I think I need a little more thinner. I use thinner just to see how that all of a sudden, if I just paint with just thinner, it brings that white back up again. Or not the white, the yellow. The wetter that is, the more it will, I can pull it off. Okay, let's see. Wow, I'm splashing. So I'll go like this with our little face like that. Hi, come on in. Don't trip over the wires. And so then we'll go up like that. And that dog starts to make some sense. Now I've got to realize that his ear comes all the way out to here. So I'm going to make a mark out here like that. And the face goes all the way up. I'm remembering that the ear is going to come all the way out to the edge of the canvas. I love filling it up. Just fill up the whole canvas with the dog's head. One of the things that we're going to cover in tomorrow's session is how to sell your art. And this is a big deal on sometimes online. You think, well, you paint a nice painting and you think, well, why doesn't it sell? And I have a different question. Why does it sell? You have to know why it does sell. If you don't know why it does sell, you know, why should someone buy it? It's a nice piece. So most of the time it's because it invokes it'll be something that invokes a little bit of an emotion. So you got to kind of have a little bit of, you know, like dogs. People love dogs. And so I sell more dogs than anything. I really do. And sometimes horses, you know, you'll get some horses or whatever. Okay, now that's enough of that for a minute. I'm going to remember where my middle line is again. And I'm going to see this nose. Most dogs' noses have got, and I have to remember that the eyes are going to be at this angle and the nose is at this angle. So everything has to be at that same angle. The mouth, the nose, everything has to go at the same angle. You tend to want to straighten them out and it looks kind of funny. So we got, and that means that this line has to be perpendicular to the rest of it, right? You can't just have that all of a sudden going up and down. So a dog's nose will have obviously a nostril, and this is called a septum in the middle, which is a split septum, and then something that comes together, and then they have this weird thing that we don't have. I don't think, no, okay, which is this little line that comes under here like this. You ever notice that on your dog's noses? Where it goes like that, and then this part is this little fleshy thing that goes like this. Okay, now the light, I'm going to pretend that the light is coming from over here. So that means this side of the nose has a shadow right here. And this side has a shadow right there. And then we've got this nose. And then I have his little mouth like this. Pumpkin. And then I'll just, sometimes it doesn't really matter about what the color is. The tonal value, which means light, middle tone, dark, is really more important than the color at this point. I could paint this dog purple or yellow or blue. Remember the Blue Dog series? My mom has one of those in her guest room. Well, she did before the flood anyway. I don't know if she still has it or not. Oh dear. Still homeless at this point.
They still can't live there?
Yeah, 2 months of that. 2 months after a flood. Not good. Well, it was October 30th. My mom came home after an 8-day trip, and that was what she found, was water going down and ceilings falling down and all kinds of things. So I bet this is going to look so goofy because I'm standing off to the side. When you are doing your own work, don't stand off to the side because it really causes a major distortion. And I was talking about being distorted in my view. It's true. It's true. But you want to be standing right in front. Look what happens with the camera if I'm in front, and you can't see it either. So I'm going to sacrifice my reputation by standing off to the side. Why do these dogs have that kind of goofy looking color in their mouths, you know?
It's a stain.
Stain. Oh.
It's from just water.
From water and
You
saliva.
can actually buy something at the pet store that removes it.
It's called Clorox. No, that's bad. That's bad. Okay, now the nose, the skin under the nose is kind of a, is a warmer color. So I'm gonna come up a little bit with a little bit of a warmer color. This is gonna be a little bit of a kind of a brown color, as you can see. And so the light, I don't put a white light right off the bat. I'll put a brown light, or kind of just a little bit lighter color. White is kind of my last thing that I do. So it goes like that. And then this part, I see it's on my brush. I know that one. There's still this darkness underneath so that we can see that there's a kind of an eye socket area there. And the other thing is that it's almost like a box. So this part of the nose comes out and then it comes across like that. All right, so that angle has to be that way and that has to be that way. So now I'm going to go in and put some of the cooler light right here on the top of the nose, right here on this nose, and give them a little bit of a, see what happens when I put a little blue into the paint. That yellow is a nice contrast, and it's just like really exciting. That's what a lot of people just think, well, I'm going to put lighter brown, darker brown. Always doing lighter brown, darker brown. It doesn't really work. You have to do opposite color when you're painting a white dog. You don't just use white, you use the opposite to each other. So you'll do like purples and yellows. It'll be really kind of cool. That's great. Okay, so now I'm just going to keep going with this. Now I'm going to make a little bit of a lighter purple up in here. This is going to be the funniest looking dog. Already funny. And, all right, now one thing I do is I'll look at it like this and I'll go, all right, if I go with my paintbrush or a ruler, I'll go straight up from the outside of the nose, straight up and say, well, what's straight up from there? The pupil. So I'll go straight up from here, and I'll put the pupil somewhere in there, like that. And then he's got this little pink eye kind of thing around the, oops, that's purple. A lot of oopses in art. Mentor that you'd say, you used to say something else, you know. Not oops. Oh no, we don't say oops. Yeah. I think that's what happened with my second baby, that one of the nurses said, oops. And I thought, oh no, what happened? Didn't know what the deal was on that. But he turned out okay.
Does Melinda know about the grandbaby?
Okay, so now here's that goofy color. So I'm gonna make that, I made that out of alizarin crimson and something, raw sienna, like that. Pretty neat. And then again, it's around the eye a little bit. Okay, that's starting to come together a little bit. Is it not? Sort of. Tell me, because I can't tell. And now this part over here is the dark tone, so I'm going to mix some phthalo blue with a little bit of brown. I know that sounds crazy, but it's what I'm going to use. So, like that. And I know, I'll do the same thing here. I'll say, okay, straight across from the bottom of the nose, I know that ear goes farther down. Okay, now I'm going to pull this in just a little bit. There's just a pink underneath it, and then I'll kind of space cadet it in here a little bit. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit more here. So see, that's not a very small brush. I mean, small in comparison to the canvas, but it's not a small brush when it comes to detail. I'm really focused over here. All right, now I'm going to put some of that in little tiny hairs. They're really fat hairs, but it's a big canvas. So. All right, here we go, like that. And sometimes you can, you know, it's just the fewer the strokes, the better in some ways. You start messing with it and it's not nearly as good when it comes to Impressionism. I'm doing a lot of those impressionistic sailboats in the next little while. I'm very kind of excited about that. When you really start focusing on all the little tiny bits of tackle, and that's really cool if you can do it, but I don't really know what I'm looking at. So I just want to put down what I can see. If I can see it, I put it down. If I can't see it, I'm not going to make it up because somebody will call me on it and go, that's not a part of a boat. Try again. So I'll just say, it's Impressionism. Give you the wrong impression. It's a boat. Does it look like a boat? Okay. That's all we care about. Okay, that ear now, I gotta look at and see how long that ear is compared to the mouth. It's way down below the mouth, so it has to be below the mouth, so I'm gonna drag it down here. This paint will take forever to dry. This white will take, if it's thick like this, will take upwards to 3 to 6 months before it's cured. Now it might be dry to the touch, but you can't really varnish it until about 6 months goes by. So the brown dogs are really much faster to dry. They'll dry within a couple of days to the touch, whereas this white, so when I'm shipping a painting with a white dog, oh man, I have to pack it just right. Otherwise, it'll smear. I haven't had any. I've designed packages now to where it works great, so it's not a big problem anymore. Anyway. Okay, now this is just still pink. This is going to have to be darker.
Can I ship pictures with a 7-month delivery date?
Yeah. Sorry, it's like, well, is this going to be ready in 3 weeks? No, 3 years. The palette knife painting, palette knifery, will take, man, I use a medium. This is a stuff that I mix up. It's called Galkide. I just got this new bottle I'm excited about. It's about, it comes in about the consistency of maple syrup, you know, and then I mix it half and half. That's the most you can mix it with thinner. And this will help it dry almost in about 2 days, except for the white. White and black, they both have a hard time with that. Okay, does that almost look like it's about done? Not really, but that's about what we're going to get to, I think.
It looks like he has a red eye and a black eye.
Oh, he does. We better fix that. That's silly. That, you know, when you look at the picture, though, I mean, it has pink around the eye.
That's that same stain.
Yeah, is it? Yeah. And sometimes it's skin. It's just the skin underneath. So I'm going to neutralize that with a little bit of yellow. Yeah. Oh, you know what else we need? We need a dark ring around the eye. So,
John carries something.
like that.
That's wrong.
Okay, I've almost forgot this part. See that dark thing around the eye? That makes it look more like he's supposed to be. All right, so we'll go like this. And we put there. Yeah, I got sidetracked for a second and forgot some of the most important parts. Okay, so we'll double check and go back in. Now, if I want to make that black even blacker, hard to believe, but I'll put either a blue or a burgundy into the black, and this is what happens. There, okay. His nostril doesn't look quite as big enough. I'll do it again. And then you let it dry. You know, this is called alla prima, where it's all at once. Alla prima is all at once. And then you can, or you don't, you just say, I'm going to do this all and I'm not going to take any more than this amount of time, la la la, I'm done. Rather than spending days and days and days on a subject, like baby in the cupboard. But you know what, I like the baby in the cupboard because it really does show how much time it really does take when you do a monster piece. Monster piece. It's called a monster piece. This is called fun. And they're all fun, but the monster pieces are really, ooh. Okay, wow, that's amazing. Okay, go like this, just to bring that hair out like that, boom. Like that. Now that's going to take forever to dry.
So, you know, put a black ring around.
Okay, what else do you see that needs any more messing around?
Maybe blend the black around the eyes down below it.
Down here.
The
And,
blend
oh yeah,
of-
they look more like
Like,
like
um,
tires,
yeah,
like rubber tires.
When somebody puts a black ring around a deal and have you put the binocular up to your eyes.
Oh yeah. Shoe polish. There we go. Good. Good eye.
That doggone,
That looks
little
better.
rascals.
Yes, Petey. Petey the dog. Okay. Well, I think that's all we're going to do for now, just to show you how to do it. It's just fast. Just fast. I don't.
It looks really good.
That's pretty neat. Okay, well, that was just one of the fastest dogs I've ever done in my life. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Nettie Kaye Studio. Thanks. Bye-bye.